During both his fundraiser on Saturday evening with all of his wealthy donors, where he allegedly raised $50 million, which seems super unlikely. But anyway, both during that fundraiser and, of course, earlier in the day on Truth Social this past weekend, Donald Trump said that it would be a great honor if he were arrested for violating the gag order placed against him and expanded last week by Judge Juan Merchan. Here is what Donald Trump said on Truth Social. If this partisan hack wants to put me in the clink for speaking the open and obvious truth, I will gladly become a modern-day Nelson Mandela. We have to save our country from these political operatives masquerading as prosecutors and judges, and I am willing to sacrifice my freedom for that worthy cause. So that explains why Donald Trump has, in the past week since the gag order was expanded, seemingly violated it 4 separate times. I mean, on Saturday alone, as he's saying, oh, look at me, I'll be modern-day Nelson Mandela, he actually posted 2 links in 2 separate posts attacking the judge's daughter. The day before that, he had put out a post linking to an article attacking the judge's wife. 2 days prior to that, he had put out a Fox News clip on his Truth Social account from Brian Kilmeade on Fox News attacking the judge's daughter. Donald Trump is at this point, I firmly believe, trying to goad Judge Merchan into putting him in jail. That's part of Trump's plan now. And he's dumb enough, by the way, to tell us that that's his plan, because that's how stupid he is. But I don't really think Donald Trump understands how his plan would work. And in fact, I think he kind of came up with that concept after the fact. In fact, I think somebody else explained it to him that way, and now he's presenting it as his own idea. I do not think he is smart or clever enough to come up with that on his own. And to a degree, unfortunately, he's right. If Donald Trump were to be thrown in jail, even for a night or perhaps over a long weekend, his supporters would riot. And I'm not just saying that metaphorically. I mean that as literally as humanly possible. His supporters would go ballistic, they would take to the streets, and God only knows what they would do from there. And it would all be for Donald Trump. And he would be their poor guy suffering upon his cross in a prison cell while his supporters go out there and do these horrible things. He wants to be the martyr, but he doesn't understand the big part of martyrdom, right? I mean, by definition, a martyr is somebody who sacrifices themselves, their life, for these causes. Trump is just willing to spend a night in an uncomfortable place to see his supporters go absolutely bonkers because he thinks some weird way that's going to help with his poll numbers. And maybe it would temporarily. Or maybe it would completely backfire when the media starts sending out photographs of Donald Trump in handcuffs. I don't think that would go over well with most of the public. And then, of course, knowing that he was sent there because he violated the law, when you have a ton of Republican voters out there saying that if he gets convicted, I won't vote for him. Well, what if he has to go spend a night in jail for violating a gag order that the court placed on him? Where does that land your vote? Because I'm willing to bet most of those voters who are saying that aren't going to be like, oh, that makes me more likely to vote for him. So Trump may think that he's being a martyr, but in reality, he's just torpedoing his own campaign, and he's trying to use the martyrdom excuse to somehow write off his very horrible actions and his inability to follow a very simple rule, which is don't attack the judge's family and everything will be okay.